I think it maybe inspired me to become more into films than something like Star Wars did, because it felt accessible. It felt like something, again, with all due respect, that's something that we could do if we found a camera and like make something not as good, obviously, but at least we could try to do something like that.
You looked outside your window and you're like, yeah, that looks like New Jersey to me.
Hey, take it easy. It's called the Garden State, people.
Hi, I'm David Crow with Den of Geek, and I'm joined here by Peter Dinklage, Jacob Tremblay, Taylor Page, Macon Blair, and the Lloyd Kaufman, and we are here to talk about the Toxic Avenger. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Lloyd, I want to start with you. This project is one that's been a long time coming. There have been a lot of attempts to remake or reimagine the Toxic Avenger. What about Macon's vision made it specifically this is the one that had to happen?
Well, lucky Troma, lucky Michael Hers and Lloyd Kaufman, the right guy, the right time, the right hero, and Jacob Tremblay and Peter and we were talking about John Ford's The Last Hurrah. This is my last hurrah for sure, and thank you, Cineverse, without a doubt, and Legendary. The bosses called from Legendary called yesterday to wish us all luck. I'm sure you all got calls, but. It was very nice of them. They specifically mentioned Jacob.
Macon, this is a movie that has been a long time coming. I'm curious, had you been keeping up with it over the years? And for example, there were talks of doing a PG-13 Toxie at one point.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was keeping up with it, but I had heard that when they asked to pitch script ideas, that was in the back of my mind was, are they looking for a PG-13 version of it? Before I really had a story or any ideas about it, it was just a couple of sort of conceptual ideas, and one was like, no one really wants a PG-13 version of this, and it should be an actor in a suit and things like that. So it was more like trying to continue the vibe of the original Toxie, and that's what I led with, and then the story kind of developed from there.
Peter, had you been a fan of the original as well back in the day?
Yeah, I don't do PG-13 films. Of course, I was the perfect age for that, and I grew up in New Jersey, which got a lot of grief from the rest of this country about its toxic waste. So it was that taboo film in the video store that my friend had, and we watched, late at night at a sleepover or something. It was awesome. It was the sort of, and I say this with all due respect, the sort of homegrown, home movie, we watched, I think it maybe inspired me to become more into films than something like Star Wars did, because it felt accessible. It felt like something, again, with all due respect, that's something that we could do if we found a camera and make something not as good, obviously, but at least we could try to do something like that.
You looked outside your window and you're like, yeah, that looks like New Jersey to me.
Hey, take it easy. It's called the Garden State, people.
This is a superhero movie. It can be crude, it can be violent.
Excuse me, no, a superhuman. You get a lawyer's letter because Warner's and Marvel co-own the word superhero.
Really?
Yes, when Toxic Avenger was a Marvel comic book, he was a superhero, but as soon as Warner's dumped the Toxic Avenger remake, Toxic, whatever it was, suddenly we got a lawyer's letter, no longer use superhero, so superhuman hero. You'll notice Ahoy Comics has a new comic book with Toxic Avenger, but I told them use superhero because we won't get sued. Let the Hoya Comics get sued. You know what I mean? That's how you do things in the movie business.
In this movie, you are playing Toxie for a new generation. And how would you describe Winston's journey in this movie?
It is a reimagining from what Lloyd and company did previously. Winston is now a grown man, and he's a stepfather. He's lost his wife, and Jacob's character has lost his mother. So you go in sort of with that dynamic, not knowing what it is myself to be a stepfather, but I assume a lot of it is walking on eggshells in terms of your own behavior and parenting. And I just love that way into the film and the sensitivity that comes with that, hopefully, with having a kid who isn't biologically yours, and learning learning how to parent as opposed to day one parenting. So that was really fascinating to me. And of course, working with Jacob was just a gift.
Related to that, Jacob, would you say that this is a somewhat of a strained relationship when we meet them before the chemical bath gets involved?
Oh, yes, 100%. I have to say, I had a really hard time acting annoyed with Peter here because I had a really good time on set with him. I really look up to him as an actor. I think he's really great. He's so talented. So, yeah, we had a great time on set. So it was fun. But yeah, I have to act super moody in this one. So
for all of our cast, I know again that I know this is legendary, but it does have that kind of indie DIY feeling about it. Did you get a lot of time to prep or to like rehearse with each other and bounce off ideas?
Yeah, I feel that's the sort of atmosphere that Macon, it's all credit to Macon, that he sort of imbues in his sets, like that sort of actor first collaboration, loosey-goosey, but completely knows what he wants to make at the same time. No, yeah. It was
super open to collaborating and
yeah.
hearing ideas, and he's just about it. This is one of one right here.
No look right or left in front of a blue screen on this one.
Taylor, I did want to mention, like, your character, what's interesting is that this movie, I should say, changes the context a little bit from the original in that, in the original, there's just a vat of chemicals and a guy, falls into it. Could have happened to anyone. And there's a pharmaceutical company we spend a lot of time with, and your character is kind of trying to take them down. Is the timeliness of that, is that something that appealed to you?
It's like right time, right place, right people. Sadly, yeah, this is a confronting truth, but hopefully you get to laugh while you're kind of crying in our shared space, this reality that we're all participating in right now.
At the beginning, I diligently would send notes to Macon, which were immediately rejected. And I had this great idea about a rescue dog, and Macon refused. I don't know why, but...
I have no memory of a note about a
rescue dog?
Yeah.
Well, there's a cat.
No, I'm joking. I was Superman refer. I guess nobody's
Oh,
seen Superman.
yeah, right.
I've seen it 8 times.
Have you really?
Yeah, I'm in it, of course.
You got to save it for the sequel. I mean,
Narcissist.
Yeah.
Toxie's dog. I like that. But Megan, actually, related to that, what was your in for reinventing it for this era, for this moment right now?
I didn't really think about it in terms of like a moment. In fact, we were kind of trying to make it feel a little timeless, like it's not connected to a particular time period, and as far as how we were like designing it and looking at it. But I just feel like the first movie Lloyd's movie is so singular, and they did such a great job with this story of the hero being a teenager who's, he's dealing with bullies and he's trying to get dates. And I just felt like if we did that exact version again, then it would put too much of a spotlight on like why do it again at all. So I felt like it needed to have a new character and a new story so it could feel a little fresh while still in that same sort of trauma vibe. And so the idea was for him to be a little older and have his thing be about connecting with his kid, and that's what's driving him.
But also, at the same time, a lot of the fun with this movie and the original is it is a creature feature. And Peter, I'm curious, how many hours were you in the makeup chair for this?
I love this question.
0. Yeah, it's not me. It's a double stunt person, Louisa, who did about 70%, if not more, of the physical work on this show. She's incredible. We rehearsed together. She sort of studied my movements, my mannerisms, and then we laid down a voiceover on it at the end. It was tricky for me because I'm a bit of a control freak. I knew going into this gig that that's what it would be. I would just do physically, I would just appear in the first quarter of the movie or about that, and then she would do the rest in the prosthetics. And I love prosthetics. I love doing all that stuff. I love falling down. I'm not going to say I do all my own stunts because that's disrespectful to stunt people, but I would love to do those. So it took a bit of me relinquishing that control. And then when I met Louisa and we worked together, I just did a perfect trust fall, and she did such an amazing job.
to be fair, he did perform the whole movie as Toxie on video. So it's like all of his movements and the way he would deliver the lines and everything that Toxie did. There's a version somewhere on videotape of Peter doing that against a blank wall. And Louisa basically studied all of that and came to set and performed what he had performed, and then he came back at the end, put his voice over that. So it was this cool dual performance that they both kind of tag teamed.
I did the performance in an air-conditioned rehearsal room. I don't know if you've ever spent the summer in Bulgaria, like these guys all did, but I was back home, and prosthetics don't really breathe, so I was so grateful, truly.
We talked a little bit about, obviously there's a pharmaceutical element, but if there was a sequel to this, what industries would you like to see the Toxie go after next?
All of them. Probably banks or something like that. I don't know. We would have to. I don't know, banks maybe. I don't know. We'd have to figure out some sort of a time travel element because we would need to get Peter back pre-transformation. So already, it's going to be a complicated ball of wax.
Or maybe he can transform back and forth.
Well, now I'm going to have to steal that idea and pretend like it was mine.
With a dog. With a toxic dog, yeah.
Yeah, it like after a while it wears off and he's like, oh, we just got through that.
The thing is, we have a lot of material. It's a toxic world that we live in. So, just pick something. Throw it at us and we can do it.
Toxic Avenger 2 and... actually, Toxie does go back to his Melvin form in Toxie 2 and 3, and in fact, there's a new reunification of 2 and 3 into one movie because it got chopped up in the old days, and called Mr. Melvin, and the producers are here, and also the fourth Toxic Avenger, the original Little Melvin comes back. So there is precedent for
to keep it rolling.
If you want to bring, if you want to have them go in and out of identity, I guess.
I do want to congratulate y'all on the film, and I do hope to see y'all back for Toxic Avenger 2 and where you're transforming back and forth.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the kind words.